Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Juju Show number 42. Oh, who's joining me here? Phil. Hello. Phil, there is an owl on your head. What's up? All right. I think Phil is getting his computer situated. I am going to mute you, Phil. Sorry. But let's start out with some fun. I wanted to start out this week talking about a post on Discourse that opened some kind of widespread questions around Juju and the community and participation and all that. And this was mainly around Z here. I know Z Strat. I don't remember. I'm trying to remember your real name. Eric. Sorry, Eric. Adding tutorials. And the tutorial system is this awesome. If you've never been to tutorials.ubuntu.com or canonical.com, they're nice, well-formatted, walk you through step by step by step. It's kind of got some structure to it. It's not just a flat doc. But adding to it means that you're running a web server and submitting PRs and things, and it's a little bit trickier. And of course, the instructions seem to have fallen out of date. And so there was some frustration in how do I get my tutorials in? And me being the engineer I am was like, don't do that. Just put them in Discourse, which was confusing because then there's multiple places to put things and folks trying to figure that out. Oh, hey, how you doing? I can unmute you if you would like. Or actually, you can unmute yourself. Sorry. Are you there, Phil? All right, well, we'll figure it out. So what I wanted to highlight was that we've definitely, Juju in the past, we had our mailing list, we have our RC channel, we had different mechanisms for getting a hold. And what we've been trying to do through setting up the Discourse site was to kind of migrate to a single place where people have the ability to collaborate and edit together and keep things up. And our goal is to get the documentation and basically any asynchronous communication around Juju in the community to get into the Discourse site. And we're not done with that yet. We need, we've got documentation in GitHub that needs to get migrated, and there's some development work on tooling to help do that, to get that all in. But what I wanted to kind of make sure was perfectly clear is that we definitely understand the need for community to get together, to collaborate on stuff, to share knowledge and all that in the least painful way possible with the least overhead. And at the moment, the Discourse seems to really be working out for that. And so what I wanted to encourage folks to do would be to go hit up the discourse.jujucharms.com, get in there, anything you've got, question, thought, I did something cool today, hey, let's celebrate stuff. I want to encourage folks to use that for things. So Eric did get his 3 different charming tutorials up on there. And I would definitely, and if you're playing with charming at all, I'd encourage you to go check it out and to read through the tutorials. And what's great is then provide feedback, like help make it better, like start a community around those tutorials. Let's make them better. Let's find where they may work differently in some cases, or back up and validate stuff that Eric said. Yeah, this is awesome. You know what? Like we all like a good pat on the back when we do hard work. So I've been very excited about the uptake to the Discourse stuff. We'll have some other, like, basically, if you look at the Juju show notes stuff, right, it just turns into links to interesting Discourse posts to try to draw attention to and everything. So we still got some more work to do. We're still moving and all that. And pardon our dust as we try to do that. But I want to encourage folks to go ahead to Discourse and join the community, participate, and be heard. What I did want to highlight is one of the things we want to take advantage of is the ability to have really trusted users being able to edit other people's posts. So if you put something up and something changes, a new Ubuntu comes out, or there's a new release of Spark, or something that requires tweaks to an post, one of the things we're looking for is to have folks being able to help keep that more up to date and not rely on the original person to go, oh, I know, I should go back to my original thing and edit it. So I know I've given out edit rights to a handful of, we'll call them senior community folks who have been around a long time. But what I want to encourage is if you're like, hey, I wish, I want to try to edit stuff. There's something that I would like to help update or, help clean up some links and stuff. Just don't hesitate to just kind of ask. Ping me in IRC, Rick_H, or ask in Discourse or whatnot. So definitely encourage you to try that out. So All right, how we doing? We got Phil here. We got Ryan here.
Hello.
Hey, there you go. Working audio for the win. How we doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Sorry, I had some IO issues there.
All right. So, Phil, you were saying that what's your IRC nickname? Because I've seen you around in IRC.
You're off.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the Juju Show.
Thanks.
And Ryan, how you doing, Ryan?
Hey, doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Are we having fun?
Very much so.
Always.
All right. So, speaking of community news or whatnot, I wanted to highlight something really cool. Some community folks that have been on the show before and have done a lot of good work in our big data charm space. They're out at a conference at Big Data London. And what was really cool was Tom put together a day one summary of the stuff going on there. And that was really awesome. I know as folks who build tools, you love to see people using your tools. Not only that, but Tom was out there telling us how he's solving his own customer problems using the tools we help build. So it doesn't get any more awesome than that, in my opinion. So if you have any interest in the big data space or just, curious what Tom and his company are up to, I encourage you to go check out his summary from the conference. Sounds like there's some really good stuff going on, and can't wait to see what comes out of the other days of the conference. And next up, the whole thing about where the community's at kind of started because Eric put up these 3 awesome beginner part 1, 2, and 3 tutorials for charming. And I know Eric's been putting a lot of work into this because he's got some folks at his company that are getting up to speed on charming. And I feel like we have good reference documentation, but the kind of storytelling, where to start and how to go from step 1 to step 2, Eric's filled in a lot of the blanks with his tutorials here. And so again, I encourage folks to give that a read. If you've ever written a charm or whatnot, or had any questions, maybe it's worth sitting down and kind of going through. So thank you, Eric, for your contributions. We all appreciate it and look forward to seeing what else folks come up with. And I would encourage other people, again, to get in there and comment on those and help make those tutorials even more rock solid awesome. Cool. Next up, the big news. The cycle of work that we've done for Juju 2.5 has reached a milestone. 2.5 beta 1 is now released today, like as of an hour ago. So if you're a member of the Snap world, you should be able to snap install Juju --classic --beta. And in the beta channel, you will get the 2.5 beta 1. Couple of really big things to keep in mind here. One is, now that we've officially released a full beta, this means that from now on, we promise any future releases, beta 2, RC1, hopefully not too many RCs as we get things wrinkled out, ironed out. We promise to support upgrading. So if you deploy a production controller with workloads and stuff on it with this beta 1, we will help take care of you and see your way through to GA. So we would do this to help encourage folks to test. So really, this is a giant call from us to all of you. Get out there, test it, kick these tires. It's time. 2.5 is now feature complete, and we're working through, we call like the 2.5 polish kind of bug hit list. There's a bunch of bugs we want to make sure we clean up and get in for 2.5, things that we've been kind of putting off doing because we've been working on the big 2.5 features and all that. So now's the time to kick those tires, try it out, give us your feedback, tell us if it's awesome, tell us if you're hitting issues or snags here or there. We do a lot of testing, but at the end of the day, there's a lot more of us, a lot more of you all out there using it than there are developers. So you guys will have a lot more ways to bend it and try to break it. Go ahead, challenge, put out there, try to break it, and let me know how you did it. Are you guys excited for 2.5?
Super pumped. Yay, 2.5 go team.
Have you guys played with it at all yet?
I am living pretty much entirely in 2.5 world, so yes.
Ooh, so you've been playing with the Edge Snap then to date?
Yeah, Edge Snap and pulling stuff straight from the PPA net dev world.
Okay, cool. So yeah, now definitely, unfortunately, we're going to have to ask that you do the one last redeploy on the beta 1, because from there you can get upgrades, but getting to the beta 1 upgrades won't, unpredictable behavior may ensue. Is there a certain feature at all that you guys are most excited about in 2.5?
I am making heavy use of the LXD profile ability within a charm. So
Nice.
that's very, very timely that has come in at the same time as me trying to solve this particular issue.
Awesome. Well, glad to hear. We always love making sure we get features out that folks put to use. What about you, Ryan?
Still unstable, so excited.
So the whole world is full of candy for you then. So there you go. You got a lot of candy heading your way. Well, that's all right, because you know what? For the people on stable, we just got the okay. We'll be doing tonight a release of Juju 2.4.6, which has a couple of bug fixes from 2.4.5. One of which we kind of brown paper bag a little bit, in the sense that we released the export bundle feature in 2.4. It's in 2.5, but that was so important, we wanted to make sure we backported it to 2.4 as well. So we pulled that out of feature flag and then realized we had missed some model information that should be in the bundle that doesn't show up. So our bad. Oops. So 2.4.6 will correct that, and you will have awesome functioning export bundle support. So go and get that for the folks living on Staple. And then Ryan, when are you going to try out the beta? When are you going to kick the tires?
As soon as I can. Yeah.
There you go. All right. I like to hear that. Good answer. Good answer. Where does that leave us? What other news do we have? Let's see. The discourse had some, it was funny, was we had two different discussions that seemed to come back around on the same idea. Did you guys know that you can relate applications across models in Juju, and not just across models, but across controllers?
I did know that, but I think for my specific scenario, I thought it didn't quite do what I needed to. But I'm actually going to go and dig into that now, since seeing that write-up by Mr. Wally World there.
Yeah. So this is a really handy feature in that oftentimes, like, people want to have centralized logging infrastructure or monitoring and alerting infrastructure, and you may want to have one, big instance of that running, and then wire that up to a bunch of different models that you're monitoring, be it your, your CRM infrastructure, your email, whatever else you might be running around, right? So this is a good old-fashioned case of I want Telegraph on everything I run, but I want it all reporting to a centralized Prometheus so that I can get all that data back and watch it from a single pane of glass. Or the old-fashioned, I want to run one giant, well-run HA Postgres, and I want to reuse it for lots and lots of models of deployed applications and things. And so what was funny was that someone was like, what would be great would be a way for me to, connect these resources across these models or whatnot. And we were like, aha, turns out there is. So because it was so interesting to get two different ideas around that at the same time, I wanted to kind of just make sure to highlight that that's out there. There's documentation stuff on it. I've got both of the posts kind of called out in the show notes. So, be aware, check that out, and, see if it helps you out, because we think it's a pretty darn handy feature. All right. And then, so basically the main topic today was just going to be talking about the 2.5 beta 1 and convince everyone to try it out. So, awesome new feature, the LXD profile support. This is really awesome because a lot of charms need to tweak a LXD profile in order to work in a LXD container properly. And with 2.5 including support for remote LXD clusters, a really great way to give a team like a mini cloud of their own is to go throw a few machines over in the corner and set up a LXD cluster on it and give the team access. And then they can bang and deploy stuff. And because you've got 3 machines running that cluster, you can now deploy things across the 3 machines and test HA scenarios and things that are a lot trickier and harder to do if you were trying to require bare metal nodes for them or whatnot. So I know I personally have a few nooks in a corner over here with a cluster set up, and that's how I do a lot of my Juju testing. And it's a really great way to go. So anyway, so the great news is that more applications can now wire what they need to work in a container out of the box, so that when you Juju deploy, foo, it'll just come up and work inside a container without a problem. So if you're a charmer and you have an application that you've had to manually tweak LXD profiles for or anything, it's time to encapsulate that operational knowledge, that know-how in the charm itself, so that everyone gets the goodies. And hopefully make some of these readmes for some charms out there a lot easier. The other thing I wanted to highlight is with the Kubernetes work, where you can now have charms for Kubernetes workloads so that you can actually deploy on top of a Kubernetes. And one of the things that we snuck in right at the end that you might have missed if you had played with it earlier was the bundle support, so that you can now have an actual bundle of multiple workloads, you know, with relation support and everything, all out of the box in the Kubernetes support. So another thing that's definitely worth kicking the tires on if you're going, you know, some stuff definitely belongs on my OpenStack or public cloud or whatnot, but some things are just applications running where containers make a lot of sense. What's great is you can do the same thing you can do with the other IS charms and things, and encapsulate how they need to work, how they need to communicate across each other, and let Juju take some of that YAML blah out of the Kubernetes, some of that YAML pain. I know whenever I've played with Kubernetes, I always get frustrated with how many YAML files I end up tossing around here and there trying to keep straight. So a Juju model makes a lot of sense, I feel like, in that sense. So definitely go give that a try. But I have a call. I want, you know, everyone, I would love to hear what you guys think is the most cool and interesting 2.5 feature. So toss a comment in the show notes in Discourse, and I'd love to see what gets the most votes. Cool. That's all I had for today. This is going to be a quickie one. I don't know, Ryan, Phil, what do you guys have? Anything you wanted to talk about before we go today?
I just want to pour some more love on you guys. The stuff I'm working with is just so far and away above any of the alternatives that I've attempted to use for the kind of crowbarring work that I often get gifted to work with. So yes, thanks, you guys. You are doing the work of the many gods, and please keep it up.
All right, I will have to see what I can get in the piggy bank to fund that nice comment there. I will see if I can get a check in the mail. No, thanks. That's always great to hear, and can't wait to get you guys some more goodies. Anything that you wanted to bring up at all, Ryan? You don't have to say something nice. You can see something that doesn't work or whatever.
I want to echo the same sentiments. It's been a joy to use, so enjoying it thoroughly. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to leave everyone to go and give you all your time back to go spend kicking 2.5 tires and giving us awesome feedback. And then anything you catch, any type of snag you hit, make sure to raise a bug, throw a comment in Discourse, drop in our IRC channel, Juju on Freenode, wherever means is easiest for you. And we'll make sure to make 2.5 the best release we've got yet. So long, everybody. Have a good day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice.